Okay, this is Pete with HydroBlox West, again at the 3-story apartment building that sits on top of an underground parking garage. Let me just show you what is on the other side of this fence and retaining wall, okay? And then if you were to go basically to the right for probably, I don't know, a mile, 2 miles, it's all downward sloping hill toward this building. So you've got hydrostatic pressure that's been forming over years, and it's literally made the building lean, and I showed you that in another video and another set of pictures. But what the engineering firm came up with was the idea of basically, I think the good analogy would be the old-fashioned oil lanterns with the wick that goes down into the bowl of the lantern. Well, in this case, what they've done is they've drilled 13 holes around the building. Here, they're going down as deep as 10 feet. And they have HydroBlox boards screwed together, 2 boards, and maybe down at the bottom sometimes 3 boards, and those serve as the wicks that are going to pull in the water. And then, as you've seen in other pictures and other parts of the video, the water is released through weep holes into which they run 4-inch pipe, and that 4-inch pipe then connects to pipe that runs all the way alongside the inside wall and then ultimately goes to a storm drain. But take a look at this. This would have been a heck of an engineering challenge and a lot of money and a lot of time to do this if they weren't using HydroBlox. It's even with HydroBlox, it's a major job. But imagine they would have had to excavate this entire sidewalk, okay, and then just the shoring, engineering the shoring to keep that retaining wall, which, as you can see, goes up to I don't know, 5 feet high, maybe 8 feet high back there, to make sure that. And again, remember, the men would be working down 10 feet because they would have had to excavate this. Then they would have had to go 10 feet down to footer grade, or down to the floor grade of the parking garage, to be able to do, let's call it traditional, I'd like to call it primitive, drainage, right? Using traditional drainage methods. That would have been a massive job, massive undertaking. Instead, the engineering firm came up with this idea, and that is to use HydroBlox. So let's take a look. You have 10-foot deep holes with boards that are then connected to the pipe that I've shown you in other videos and pictures that is on the inside of the parking garage. Beautiful. I mean, it's just a lot of work even with HydroBlox. You know, they had to cut the concrete, 2-man auger, and then a lot of hand digging. And so one of the difficulties too is that the footer for this retaining wall, the footer comes out about 18 inches this way. So to dig the hole and go down 10 feet would have been just a major league amount of work. But look how high this, you know, I'm over 6 feet tall, and this is at my chin. So this is a, I don't know, 5 feet, 5.5 feet high retaining wall. And you can actually see, as I'm standing here by the retaining wall, this retaining wall itself is leaning over a little bit. So that's it. This is a unique application for HydroBlox, and it has saved this property owner weeks of labor and a lot of money. And that's it. This is Pete with HydroBlox West. If you have questions, go to hydrobloxwest.com. That's HydroBlox with an X.